James Thomas Cool Papa Bell was born on May 17, 1903, and he was an American center fielder in Negro League baseball from 1922 to 1946. He is considered to have been one of the fastest men ever to play the game. Stories demonstrating Bell's speed are still widely circulated, and he was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1974. He ranked 66 on a list of the greatest baseball players published by the Sporting News in 1999. So that's just a summary of Cool Papa Bell. Now we're going to get more into his life. Mr. Bell was born on May 17, 1903 in Starkville, Mississippi to Jonas Bell and Mary Nichols. At the age of 17, he moved to St. Louis to live with his older brothers and attend high school. However, rather than attending night school as planned, Mr. Bell spent most of his time playing baseball in the neighborhood. He signed as a knuckleball pitcher with the Compton Hill Cubs, a black semi-pro baseball team, until the team broke up in August 1921. He played with Compton Hill on Sundays and holidays while he worked for a packing company during the week. For 1922, Bell moved to the East St. Louis Cubs, a semi-pro team that paid him $20 weekly to pitch on Sundays. So I did a little calculation. I put in $20 in 1922 compared to right now, 2021. That is $311. So he's getting paid $311 per week to pitch on Sundays. Not a bad gig. Mr. Bell joined the St. Louis Stars of the Negro National League as a pitcher in 1922, and Mr. Bell earned his nickname in his first Negro League season. He was referred to as Cool after striking out standout player Oscar Charleston, and added Papa to the nickname because it sounded better. At first, Mr. Bell made only occasional appearances in the outfield. By 1924, at the urging of manager Bill Gatewood, Mr. Bell began working on his defensive skills and appearing more in the outfield. Mr. Bell ultimately made a permanent move to center field and stopped pitching. Before becoming an outfielder, he batted right-handed and threw left-handed. His transition to the outfield was aided by learning to bat as a switch hitter. When he batted left-handed, his base running speed was even more problematic for opponents because he was a couple of steps closer to first base. Biographer Sean McCormick points out that Bell did not have a strong throwing arm. However, Mr. Bell's speed allowed him to play very shallow in the outfield, and he was still able to catch balls over his head and in the gaps. Pitchers tried to avoid issuing walks to Bell because he was often able to steal both second base and third base, scoring a run on the next play. That's when you know you're fast, when they're just going to throw you fastballs and force you to hit the ball. Mr. Bell's speed was unreal. Mr. Bell could also sometimes score a run if he was on first base and the batter got a base hit. Wow. That is insane. Mr. Bell described the style of play on the occasions when the Negro League players faced white teams in exhibitions. We played a different kind of baseball than the white teams. We played tricky baseball. We did things they didn't expect. We'd bunt and run in the first inning. Then when they would come in for a bunt, we'd hit away. We always crossed them up. We'd run the bases hard and make the fielders throw too quick and make wild throws. We'd fake a steal home and rattle the pitcher into a balk. So the way I hear it is that they actually sped the game up against the other team, and I think that's something that right now baseball doesn't do. The game is real slow, but back then they used their speed for their advantage, and you can tell just from that story right there from Mr. Bell himself. Mr. Bell bounced to the Kansas City Monarchs and the Mexican Winter Leagues until finding a home with the Pittsburgh Crawfords in the reorganized Negro National League. In Pittsburgh, he played with Ted Page and Jimmy Crutchfield to form what is considered by many to have been the best outfield in the Negro Leagues. On the 1936 Crawfords team, Bell was one of 6 players who were subsequently inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Mr. Bell played in many locations in Latin America, locations such as Monterey, Veracruz, and in Dominican Republic. He also managed and he was a scout. As you can tell, he was involved in baseball for many years. He loved it. It was his passion, and he stayed with it, and he helped the next generation as well. I want to thank you for watching all the way into the end. I had a lot of fun doing research and learning about James Cool Papa Bell. And if you enjoyed this as well, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video where we continue the series for Black History Month. Again, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.